Alright, welcome. This is my first video. I would like to read a disclaimer because we are talking about financial information. So this video is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not an investment advice or a recommendation to buy or sell any security, cryptocurrency or ETF or other asset. Nor is legal or tax advice. All investment decisions are your responsibility. And I just want to make sure that everybody understands that everything I talk about here is not an investment advice. I usually talk about things that I own, but in no way this is a recommendation for you to buy it. Okay, so first of all, everybody is talking right now about a possible market top. I'm going to start with crypto because this is a very sensitive and speculative asset. So what it's interesting to see in Bitcoin, which is the most important cryptocurrency right now, is the fact that we are in sort of a range or large trading range that actually closer to 108,000 US dollars for one Bitcoin, which is kind of the top of last year in December and the beginning of the year in January 2025, right? So even with such a good news happening in AI world, in cryptocurrency, with the Trump administration that's actually providing so much clarity and information about the future of crypto, I think it's very interesting the fact that we are still in this range and not really trending higher and not taking the top, right? So I think this is a very important thing to take into consideration for people who actually are calling it top right now in risk assets, right? So moving on from Bitcoin, I would like to go to Euro US dollar, which of course we know this year the dollar suffered quite an amazing correction. We were almost at parity at the beginning of the year, and January 2025, and we went up almost, let's say 15%, but it was quite a move. It was quite a move. And what we can see exactly on the Fed day, when we saw rate reduction in Fed funds, we saw a big jump to 1.19, and then we just, the dollar gained a bit of strength. And this happened today. This is today from Asia session to around right now, almost opening again. I would say very interesting if we're talking about a possible local top, or like a top in the markets, that dollar is gaining some sort of strength, right? You cannot say that we're doing much, because if you switch to daily, we're kind of at the same level that we were 3 months, right? So July, August, and September. And you will see that these months provide kind of the same pattern on a lot of assets, right? Gold is after it break this level, it just went up daily, like crazy. Even today, small correction looks like like just a red small dot on the chart. All right, I'm moving on to the most important company on the stock market, which is NVDA. And for people who want or like to call a top, sorry, we see the same idea. July August and September. So 3 months of actually making a top. What I think is very interesting is the fact that we got so much positive news in these 3 months. We even got the earnings here in August 27, which were amazing results and beating any estimate that Wall Street had. So I think it's important to see that even on that day we didn't break this level, which is quite a resistance. And I also want to point out that on the news about them buying 100 billion worth of stocks in OpenAI, we saw a huge jump, but then we kind of like lost all of the progress. I do own NVDA and I do like it a lot. I think it's one of the greatest companies ever. So I'm not in the camp, in the bears camp, or not in the camp of, you know, people saying that AI is just a bubble. But I would say that it's quite interesting that we do have this resistance. Let's call it not a top, a resistance, right? Okay. Moving to Microsoft, another company that I like. I do remember, you know, the same pattern of 3 months. I do remember that we got incredible earnings. We opened high and we got almost, I think we were above at the point, above 10% in the aftermarket after Microsoft released earnings. And you can see a very strange thing, you know, like we were lower than that day, and you know, just slowly going lower. I do own this again. I do like it a lot. I think it's an amazing company, but it is the fact that for some reasons we cannot break this top. I don't have a problem with breaking the top. The problem I have, for me, and again, this is not a recommendation, is the fact that we continue every day, we get so many good news about AI, and we cannot break these levels. Also, same thing with Meta. Meta, even in this, we got the same thing with huge jump on earnings, and we're kind of, you know, in the same place, not too far from the top we had before Trump tariffs. And what I can say here, we have a new product, and we also have today a news that Instagram, part of Meta, has 3 billion monthly active users, which is absolutely amazing for just one company of Meta, right? All right, so another thing that was very interesting today was this Canadian company with Lithium Americas Corporation, a company that didn't do much in the last 2 years, let's say. It all started, from my understanding, that they required a loan for the business from the Trump administration, and they got in this idea that you also saw with Intel, that okay, we may give you support, but we want a stake in the company. So the US government got a stake in this company, which is it is amazing. If you follow the markets for a long time, you know that these things are rare, but on Trump administration they look very often right now. And it did jump almost 100%, so almost double in price, and a huge volume today. And another company that made news today was AXON, pretty important company in defense. And what happened here was it went down 10%. A lot of people are following and investing in this company. And the reason is, even if we had yesterday, the information about the platform they bought, Prepared, which is sort of like a 911 platform that transforms all the information from a call into action, right? So you can easily get there at the location faster than ever because of that platform, and that audio call is transformed into text or video or GPS, and all in real time. So this is a big deal. But what we have today was the information that the transaction cost is close to 1 billion, so about 900 million US dollars. And that kind of, like, you know, all the talk with the valuation that you have also from Fed, you get investor a bit sensitive in this sort of information. This is all for today. I'm trying to get as much information for you as possible, but this is the recap with the most important things that happened today. If you like the video, if you like the channel, if you're interested in information and education only about the stock market, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.